Glenwyvis.
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 Have you tried any Glenwyvis before?
No.
I don't think I have either.
I don't think I have.
I think it's our first time trying Glenwyvis.
Oh.
So if you hadn't guessed, we're doing Glenwyvis.
I'm sure you did guess by now.
Glenwyvis, this is a...
Hello, I'm Jen.
My name's Rachel.
Welcome to our channel. We are Whiskey Geeks.
Not whiskey snobs.
So if you like all things whiskey,
And you're not a snob.
subscribe.
So, another of the newer distilleries. This expression here, 46.5, and it's been in bourbon, Oloroso and refill.
Okay, cool.
So it's a good mix of stuff. And it's still quite young. So,
It smells quite young.
yeah, really pear, lots of pear drops in that. I feel like the new distilleries that are making their whiskey like drinkable young is so fruity, like so heavy on the fruit flavours.
Raspberries.
Raspberries, definitely.
Like green apples. Fresh green apples.
Floral.
Green apple skin.
Getting that honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle, definitely. Yep.
So, we should just start trying. Yeah.
Flange.
Flange. That's really good. I love the newer whiskies, I really do.
Really malty.
Really malty and really pear drops. And so Glenwyvis, another Highland distillery in Dingwall. There has been distilleries there in the past, but not since like the early 1900s. Prohibition, etc, etc.
Yep.
Dried up distilleries.
It makes them sound really like crusty.
Dried up. So there was 2 distilleries in that area and both closed around that time because they dried up because of prohibition.
Yeah, because there was the Glenwyvis.
So there's Glenwyvis, which is an interesting one.
That was like in the back of it was in the back of somebody else. Who was that?
A grain that we did.
Invergordon.
So Glenwyvis closed early 1900s and they actually moved the stills of Glenwyvis, and this to me doesn't seem right. I feel like I want to look into this more. So they moved the stills of Glenwyvis into Invergordon distillery, further away, further northeast, if I'm right.
Well, yeah.
Dingwall, northeast, from Dingwall to Invergordon.
Yeah. Not very far, but
a wee
yeah.
bit. So they moved the stills from Glenwyvis to Invergordon, and then we're producing Glenwyvis at Invergordon, which doesn't make sense. Most of that was going into blends,
Right.
so I don't think there was any, if many, single malts produced from there. And then they decided, bugger that, we're not doing that anymore, and they sold them to Glengyle. So Glengyle
cool. Well,
have the old
that
stills
makes sense.
from Glenwyvis, which is cool.
Right. I think I'd heard something about that. There's something about that in the back of my head.
We did it in a tasting.
Did we?
Yeah,
I
think it was one of our-
probably wrote about it.
I think you did, yeah. And they had the other distillery, which I can't pronounce.
Glenskiach, I would say. Glenskiach? I've never heard of that before.
And Glenwyvis, so those were the only 2 distilleries. And Glenwyvis are cool, so they are saying they're
Sorry, what do you mean they were the only 2 distilleries?
Sorry, Glenwyvis in Dingwall.
Ah, right, got it.
Or the only 2 legal distilleries anyway. So that leads on to Glenwyvis. See, they're a community owned endeavour, so there's 3,000 investors and they're owned by the community.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not totally the community because it's not the community there really, then it's 3,000 people who've chosen
Yeah,
to opt in from the community.
So it's a community.
Yeah.
So it's a community of whiskey lovers, probably.
But they say it's the first community owned distillery, which I would contest because I think there's been maybe the first legal and documented community owned distillery. So I think from when times began, then there's
it was a community effort of all the barley that came together from the local farmers.
All distilleries were community, or all crofting, alcohol making endeavours were community owned. So the first official modern times, documented. And I think the folk who own it are the community of Dingwall mostly, just not obviously everyone.
That's cool.
So, but nice spirit.
Really nice, like fresh.
Yep, really fresh.
Like, I would say that's, like, from what I'm tasting, if I was tasting that blind, I would guess it might be a lowland. Because it's got that really fresh cut grass flavour.
Same, and quite fruity, but not, like, raisiny kind of fruits, like more fresh kind of fruits.
It's not cloying.
No, not at all. Really fresh. You could do that
Juicy.
in like cocktails and stuff. It's not got much of a
definitely.
finish, to be honest. I'm finding it.
More of a bitter finish.
See, I'm not getting bitter at all in
A
that.
wee bitter finish.
We've
High
definitely
up bitter
got-
though. High up bitter.
We taste bitter, I think, in very different ways.
I think so.
Which is interesting. So I taste things as bitter in a way I just can't drink it. And you love it.
I love it.
And you think bitter in that, and I don't get bitter at all.
It's
That's
a
quite
middly
interesting.
high up bitter, like orange peel. Middly. Normally bitter I feel is quite a low down. Bitter. This bitter I feel is like middly. Then it's got a juicy undertone to the bitter.
I get what you mean, I suppose, because the
We
bitter.
have different words for what we're meaning as well.
I think you love the bitter flavour, so I'm like, the bitter flavour you're tasting in this, you can't possibly love as much when it's times 10 in those other whiskies that you do.
Yeah,
so it's the same bitter flavour.
Yeah.
But it's because
Maybe.
I can't comprehend
You can't
liking
fathom
that.
liking it. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Very
That's
interesting.
quite cool though. And you can deal with sour. You love a sour mambo.
And that's a flavour you can't
Yeah,
understand
hurts my
liking.
eyelids. No.
So
Yeah, yeah.
quite strange. So, and very, like, most of the new distilleries are right into their renewables, local barley, sustainability, forefront of the new distilleries, which is one of the big bits for me anyway about buying those kind of whiskies,
Yeah.
because you're investing in the future of whiskey and not the current of whiskey as well.
Yeah.
Not just the current of whiskey.
That's lovely.
The
Can't wait to
reasons.
see what else they have
Yeah,
in store.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. Subscribe down here for more like this. And join us again next time. Flange.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe. And you can follow us on social media at The Grail Tastings. See you next time. Slange.
I'm going to go and eat a pile of oatcakes after this. Okay, some of us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a
Like
shame.
your mine.
It's a shame you've gone off the nuts. Salted nuts. The peanuts.
Off the nuts. Gone off the nuts. It makes me sound like I've gone crazy.
I've never been on the nuts, to be very honest.
Just gone off the nuts. Sounds like I've gone off the
does,
deep
it
end
does,
or
it
something.
does. Gone off the
I've gone
nuts.
really nuts. Gone off.
Just gone off the nuts and onto the oat cakes.